League of Cities of the Philippines vs. Commission on Elections. GR number 178,056. The contention of the petitioners does not persuade. As indicated in the resolution of February 15, 2011, 59 existing cities had failed as of 2006 to post an average annual income of 100 million pesos based on the figures contained in the certification dated December 5, 2008 by the Bureau of Local Government. The large number of existing cities, virtually 50% of them, still unable to comply with the 100 million pesos threshold income 5 years after Renault 9009 took effect renders it fallacious and probably unwarranted for the petitioners to claim that the 100 million pesos income requirement is not difficult to comply with. In this regard, the deliberations on Senate Bill No. 2157 may prove enlightening. Thus, Senator Osmeña, and could the gentleman help clarify why a municipality would want to be converted into a city? Senator Pimentel: there is only one reason, Mr. President, and it is not hidden. It is the fact that once converted into a city, the municipality will have roughly more than 3 times the share that it would be receiving over the internal revenue allotment than it would have if it were to remain a municipality. So more or less 3 times or more. Senator Osmeña: is it the additional funding that they will be able to enjoy from a larger share from the internal revenue allocations? Senator Pimentel: yes, Mr. President. Senator Osmeña: now, could the gentleman clarify, Mr. President, why in the original Republic Act No. 7160, known as the Local Government Code of 1991, such a wide gap was made between a municipality, what a municipality would earn, and a city? Because essentially, to a person's mind, even with this new requirement, if approved by Congress, if a municipality is earning 100 million pesos and has a population of more than 150,000 inhabitants but has less than 100 square kilometers, it would not qualify as a city. Senator Pimentel: yes. Senator Osmeña: now would that not be quite arbitrary on the part of the municipality? Senator Pimentel: in fact, Mr. President, the House version restores the or. So, this is a matter that we can very well take up as a policy issue. The chair of the committee does not say that we should, as we know, not listen to arguments for the restoration of the word or in the population or territorial requirement. Senator Osmeña: Mr. President, my point is that, I agree with the gentleman's but perhaps we should bring down the area. There are certainly very crowded places in this country that are less than 10,000 hectares. 100 square kilometers is 10,000 hectares. There might only be 9,000 hectares or 8,000 hectares. And it would be unfair if these municipalities already earning P100,000,000 in locally generated funds and have a population of over 150,000 would not be qualified because of the simple fact that the physical area does not cover 10,000 hectares. Senator Pimentel: Mr. President, in fact, in Metro Manila there are any number of municipalities. San Juan is a specific example which, if we apply the present requirements, would not qualify, 100 square kilometers and a population of not less than 150,000. But my reply to that, Mr. President, is that they do not have to become a city? Senator Osmeña: because of the income. Senator Pimentel: but they are already earning a lot, as the gentleman said. Otherwise, the danger here, if we become lax in the requirements, is the metropolis-located local governments would have more priority in terms of funding because they would have more qualifications to become a city compared to far-flung areas in Mindanao or in the Cordilleras, or whatever. Therefore, I think we should not probably ease up on the requirements. Maybe we can restore the word or so that if they do not have the 100 square kilometers of territory, then if they qualify in terms of population and income, that would be all right, Mr. President. Senator Osmeña: Mr. President, I will not belabor the point at this time. I know that the distinguished gentleman is considering several amendments to the Local Government Code. Perhaps this is something that could be further refined at a later time, with his permission. So I would like to thank the gentleman for his graciousness in answering our questions. Senator Pimentel: I also thank the gentleman, Mr. President. 29. The court takes note of the fact that the municipalities cited by the petitioners as having generated the threshold income of 100 million pesos from local sources, including those already converted into cities, are either in Metro Manila or in provinces close to Metro Manila. In comparison, the municipalities covered by the cityhood laws are spread out in the different provinces of the Philippines, including the Cordillera and Mindanao regions, and are considerably very distant from Metro Manila. This reality underscores the danger the enactment of Reno. 9009 sought to prevent, that is, that the metropolis-located local governments would have more priority in terms of funding because they would have more qualifications to become a city compared to the far-flung areas in Mindanao or in the Cordilleras, or whatever, actually resulting from the abrupt increase in the income requirement. Verily, this result is antithetical to what the Constitution and LGC have nobly envisioned in favor of countryside development and national growth. Besides, this result should be arrested early, to avoid the unwanted divisive effect on the entire country due to the local government units closer to the national capital region being afforded easier access to the bigger share in the national coffers than other local government units. There should also be no question that the local government units covered by the cityhood laws belong to a class of their own. They have proven themselves viable and capable to become component cities of their respective provinces. They are and have been centers of trade and commerce, points of convergence of transportation, rich havens of agricultural, mineral, and other natural resources, and flourishing tourism spots. In his speech delivered on the floor of the Senate to sponsor House Joint Resolution No. 1, Senator Lim recognized such unique traits, 30 vice. It must be noted that except for Tandag and Lamitan, which are both second-class municipalities in terms of income, all the rest are categorized by the Department of Finance as first-class municipalities with gross income of at least 70 million pesos as per Commission of Audit Report for 2005. Moreover, Tandag and Lamitan, together with Barangan, Kitbalogan, and Tabuk, are all provincial capitals. The more recent income figures of the 12 municipalities, which would have increased further by this time, indicate their readiness to take on the responsibilities of cityhood. Moreover, the municipalities under consideration are leading localities in their respective provinces. Barangan, Kitbalogan, Tandag, Batak and Tabuk are ranked number 1 in terms of income among all the municipalities in their respective provinces. Baybay and Bayugan are number 2. Bogo and Lamitan are number 3. Karkar, number 4. And Tayabas, number 7. Not only are they pacesetters in their respective provinces, they are also among the frontrunners in their regions. Baybay, Bayugan and Tabuk are number 2 income earners in regions 8, 13, and Kar, respectively. Catbalogan and Batak are number 3 in regions 8 and I, respectively. Bogo, number 5 in region 7. Barangan and Kalkar are both number 6 in regions 8 and 7, respectively. This simply shows that these municipalities are viable. Petitioner League of Cities argues that there exists no issue with respect to the cityhood of its member cities, considering that they became cities in full compliance with the criteria for conversion at the time of their creation. The court considers the argument too sweeping. What we pointed out was that the previous income requirement of 20 million pesos was definitely not insufficient to provide the essential government facilities, services, and special functions vis-à-vis the population of a component city. We also stressed that the increased income requirement of 100 million pesos was not the only conclusive indicator for any municipality to survive and remain viable as a component city. These observations were utterly reflected in the respective incomes of the 59 members of the League of Cities that have still failed, remarkably enough, to be compliant with the new requirement of the 100 million pesos threshold income 5 years after Reno. 9009 became law. Undoubtedly, the imposition of the income requirement of 100 million pesos from local sources under Reno. 9009 was arbitrary. When the sponsor of the law chose the specific figure of 100 million pesos, no research or empirical data buttressed the figure. Nor was there proof that the proposal took into account the after effects that were likely to arise. As already mentioned, even the danger the passage of Reno. 9009 sought to prevent might soon become a reality. While the Constitution mandates that the creation of local government units must comply with the criteria laid down in the LGC, It cannot be justified to insist that the Constitution must have to yield to every amendment to the LGC despite such amendment imminently